The Betesda Foundation of the Confessional Lutheran Church of Chile began its activities around 2014, with the interest of serving the community in the face of the need of families and people in situation of exclusion. Thus, in January 2017, the Betesda Care Center was legally established and opened its doors, being the first rehabilitation center in the southeast sector of Santiago that covers the age group of young adults. Our vision is to be instrument of God, creating, promoting, and providing care, assistance, education, and comprehensive rehabilitation, being able to give treatment depending on age groups, the type of disability, overcoming the barriers of poverty or exclusion, in order to tend to their autonomy and inclusion. Our mission: motivated by the love of Christ and in response to the great need to care for people with disabilities and their families, we are led to build this care center for young people over 18 with cerebral palsy. The Casa Betesda Care Center proposes to work towards the inclusion, rehabilitation, recreation, and work of people with disabilities and other physical challenges at any stage of life, involving various professionals, volunteers, partners, people and institutions, families, and other interested parties that are related to this type of action. Among the professional services that our care center provides its patients, we can highlight differential pedagogical care, occupational therapy, speech therapy, kinesiology, psychology, music therapy, art therapy, cooking workshops, among others. As a result of the health situation that affects Chile and the world, our team was faced with the need to innovate their work strategies. As a result of the health situation that affects Chile and the world, our team was faced with the need to innovate their work strategies, which led to the design of an online care proposal, making our patients the priority. Through this new virtual modality, it was possible to continue caring for patients and their caregivers and families. We cannot fail to mention the exemplary work that was carried out with our patient Joanna Reyes, who, with great perseverance and effort, week after week, received the curricular pedagogical training to fulfill one of her great objectives, to prepare to take her high school equivalency exams, coordinating studies with her teachers, which led us to feel satisfied and fulfilled. We are currently working under the mixed modality, attending 10 patients in an outpatient condition and 5 in a permanent condition, considering the health protocol to provide security with the subject of prevention, in order to gradually resume activities in person. God has allowed, in His great mercy, that Casa Betesda Center continues His work despite adversity, providing support and containment to this population with disabilities. Finally, our principles and convictions always drive us to take care of our community not only in body but also in soul. This is why we consider the Church's work of spiritual assistance as vital for all of our work to bear good fruit, not only here in this world, but for eternal life. Although we do not yet have the assistance of a chaplain who can focus on the task of spreading the gospel among us, this task is supplied by pastors or vicars from our nearby Lutheran congregations who regularly preach the word to us and guide us with the liturgical services. We are a house of mercy, and only God can give us this gift to share in this fallen world. Luis Caraballo, Coordinating Teacher of Betesda Care Center. Dear partners, it is my joy to be able to report that, thanks to the Lord, despite the health restrictions that the state has imposed on us due to the global pandemic, we were able to continue caring for our patients. Thus, during this quarantine period, we have been able to provide them with care using digital communication tools. You may wonder, how is that they have been able to carry out this type of assistance only online? And the answer is that it has not been easy, especially with tasks of a kinetic nature. As an institution, we found ourselves in the need to temporarily readjust, and the support of the caregivers of our patients at home has been essential. Thank God that already this month the panorama begins to change. The great desire of many to meet face to face was made possible on the first Tuesday in November. Both we and the patients needed it, because our institution is much more than a therapeutic center. There is a family here. No one understands a person better than one who goes through the same trials and challenges. Between us and our professionals, empathy and love are indispensable requirements. Unfortunately, the economic impact inflicted by the pandemic was a very hard blow for our institution. The inability to meet in person and provide appropriate care, as well as limitation in human relationships, have truncated our strategic fundraising plan. Our current reality is quite stark. Today, we cannot guarantee that the Casa Betesda Center will continue to operate next year. Sadly, other rehabilitation centers in our city, as or more important than ours, have already been forced to close their doors for the very same reason. In another context, this would have been beneficial for us, because here appears the great opportunity to absorb in part those patients from other centers who have been left without care. But since we do not have the resources to support ourselves, we will not be able to prepare for more ambitious projects, no matter how necessary they are. Certainly, the pandemic has wreaked havoc, especially economically, but at the same time, it has created many clear opportunities to show mercy to the most needy and despised in our society. That is why we extend the call to the forum, so that they can help us to continue this charity work, and we do not have to make the sad decision to leave our brothers abandoned. For many of them, this rehabilitation center has helped to improve their quality of life by healing their body and soul, and it has even been a bridge so they can hear and know the gospel of a merciful God. For our part, it is our desire to be able to continue the work of Christ and reach out with mercy to those most in need. It is amazing to see how a smile is drawn on the faces of our patients every time they walk through the door of our center, and how the Lord can create grateful hearts in those people who have to fight much more than anyone else just to live day to day. And of course, finally, our greatest desire is that here they can see and know a Lord and God who loves them, who does not abandon them, but is walking alongside them and their families. So that light of hope that shines in their eyes comes true on the final day. God bless you all. Leonardo Gonzalez, Executive Director of Foundation Casa Betesda.